you are voting. Voting does not happen in November. It doesn't happen every 4 years. It doesn't just happen for elected officials. It doesn't happen for governmental persons. It happens for you every single day. You are constantly voting in the direction of the life that you want. Constantly. And after watching this video, you're going to understand that how important every single second is to your life. Every single second you choose to do something that does not go in the direction of the life you want is a vote for you putting off your dream life. Every single vote, every single second you decide to do something to the opposite effect of what you want, you're putting a vote in for the life that you don't want. So there's a quote, and the quote is by Anne Lappy, or Lape, maybe Lappe. And Anne says, every dollar you spend is a vote for the world that you want. Now, when Anne says this, it's in a very contextual manner, but I want to break this down to how it literally affects your everyday life. I want you to think about the fact that everyone has 24 hours. Some of us wake up rich and other people wake up poor every single day. And you have to really think to yourself that if everyone has the same 24 hours, some want to be famous and don't wake up famous, and some want to be famous and they wake up famous. Some want to be musical artists and they wake up as successful musical artists, and others just continue to dream about it. There are people who want to have their dream car, who have their dream car, and there's people that just dream about it and they don't have it. They wake up without it every single day. If we all have 24 hours and we all have access to the only source there is, which is source, which is God, which is complete abundance for and access to every single resource that we may need to get the life that we want. If we all have access to that, as long as we desire to continue to use it, we all have free will and free access to use these abundant resources. If that's the case, then how do some people wake up with the life they want and others keep living their living hell? It's literally because the people that are getting what they want in life, listen to me very closely, they are constantly in the habit of putting votes into the life they want. The vote can be their dollars, their time, their energy, any part of their life. When you are so serious about your goals, you look at the 24 hours in a day very differently. And Myron Golden often talks about, like, he didn't have any TVs in his house until his children were, I think, in high school or maybe in middle school or maybe 14 or 15 or something like that. And he said he didn't want to watch other people live their dreams while he lived a nightmare. And when you think about it from that aspect, it can sound kind of lack-minded, sound kind of sad, like you're forcing yourself not to enjoy things because you are forcing yourself, like you don't get to enjoy life until you have the life you want, right? That's how I thought about it when I heard that. And so that didn't really much resonate with me. I'm sure it resonates with a lot of people. But this is why I'm making this video, is because, somebody, like, we're all saying the same thing in 1,000 different ways, just hoping that the point that we're trying to get across will reach the person in the tone that we say it. Because I didn't resonate with what he was saying, but I resonate with this quote from Anne. So that's why I'm making this video, to let other people know exactly, a different way to think about it, because he's not incorrect. However, the verbiage and the uses of words in the example is quite harsh to me, and especially to other women, because we like to enjoy our lives. We like to make up, hair, eat out. We like to do these things, but we feel like, oh, well, we have to just completely cut off entertainment and enjoyment until we get the life that we want. And that doesn't have to be the case, because when you are a person that cares so much about the 24 hours you have in a day, you're going to do those things anyways. You're not going to do them from that lack-ish mindset where it's like, I'm cutting off all my enjoyment because I don't deserve to have anything. It's more so, I literally am cutting off TV subscriptions, these extra payments. I'm throwing everything at my debt. I'm being so vigilant about everything I do every single second of the day because I care so much, right? That's how you flip it from lack to abundance, but still do the exact same thing, because I realized that through thinking that thought through Myron Golden, it really put a lot of stress on me to just cut everything I enjoy out. But then I realized that when I think about it from the abundance, it's the exact same thought. And if you want to hear more examples of this, watch my second to last video where I talk about how I manifested $11,000 in about 9 days. I talk about how everyone can do the exact same thing, but it depends on the perspective that you're approaching it from. So if you're doing the same, if we're both doing the same thing, we're being hyper vigilant about what we spend our time doing, hyper vigilant about the 24 hours we have in a day. We're constantly making sure our money's working for us. We're constantly learning, constantly doing this, blah, 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 blah. But I do it from an aspect that makes me feel good, that actually pushes me towards what I want to do. We're still doing the same thing. Mine is just a more sustainable way for me and how my life is supposed to plan out. Okay, so I often have to flip things into the abundance mindset. I'm still doing the exact same thing, but I cannot get myself to do certain things, or it's hard to do certain things, or to actualize or conceptualize or follow through on certain things when it doesn't fully resonate with you, because you have to resonate on being in love with an idea to be able to hold it and be able to do it and to be able to keep it. That's what Bob Proctor talks about. You have to, he talks about it in the Born Rich series, which is on his YouTube channel. He has the You Were Born Rich book, but he also has the seminar, which is 7 videos that are about an hour and a half long each. And both of them are amazing. And then he also has the workbook. The workbook is not available on like YouTube or whatever. You just Google it, and then you can find it, and then you can just download it. So those 3 things, right, are great. But he talks about it in that way, right? So your 24 hours are so important. If you really, really think about it, this is the timeline. This is when you were born, and this is when you're going to die. You are constantly moving in this direction. You're constantly moving towards not being here anymore. Every single second, every single hour, every single minute that you choose to do something you're not supposed to do is you literally saying, hey, the life that I want to actually live before I have to, like, I'm constantly moving towards this point of not being here, but I am okay not having as much time to enjoy the life that I want because I want to be comfortable now. That's what you're saying to yourself. And so I want to encourage you that today, really understand that everyone has the same 24 hours, and only the people that really, really care about their 24 hours are going to get the results that they want. And when you really think about it, it's actually very, very difficult to go backwards from this thought. Once you have this thought, you can't look like the same. You actually start to enjoy the things that you thought you wouldn't enjoy. So, like for the example with Myron Golden, where he talks about, not watching television, not watching this, not doing that, blah, 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 blah. I actually really enjoy, well, first, I never grew up watching TV, like, and being into series and being into movies and being into those things. Those were never really my concern anyways. But as I gotten older, of course, like, you want to learn more things and watch things that other people are watching, and you want to explore documentaries and watch the popular TV show and get to know what it's about, and et cetera, right? But even this new interest that I have towards TV is very, very short-lived, because I would much rather spend my 24 hours reading a book that I think will help me and watching hours of a seminar that I know will help me. It's the same 24 hours that I've had every single day for the past 24 years, and that I'm going to continue to have until I move towards this point. However, I take these 24 hours very seriously, and it's very abundantly clear that when I see something I should be doing and I choose not to do it, that is a vote. And when I say a vote, like, I just mean, like, you're choosing, like, every single decision is, do you want the life you want or do you not? And every time you choose against the life that you want, you're saying, I don't want the life I want. And honestly, you might be like, oh, I still want it, but just not right now. It's not that important to me right now, right? That is the problem. is that you don't take the 24 hours serious enough. You don't take the 24 hours serious enough. So you have the same 24 hours as everybody else. And voting doesn't only happen in November. It doesn't happen with your elected officials. It doesn't happen with politics. It doesn't only happen with politicians. It doesn't only happen if you're an investor and you are participating in dividend yielding stocks, and you have to look at the any new IPOs that are coming out for companies that you're interested in and voting towards that, or when your company that you're invested in and you're getting dividend yielding stocks from is going over the evaluations for their dividend yielding stocks, and you have to be like, okay, well, I want this elected, I want that, like, whatever you're choosing and voting on, like as in actual voting, is not the only time you vote. You vote every single day. Every single day you wake up, it's like, do I want to move towards the life that I want? Because I'm constantly moving towards this. I'm always moving towards this. I'm always moving towards this. And it shouldn't be that way, to think about it that way. But to me, it doesn't cause a lot of resistance to think about it that way. It actually makes me appreciate every single hour, because I'm not going to get this hour back. These 11 minutes I've spent here, I'm not going to get these 11 minutes back. But I know that these 11 minutes are going to be watched by hundreds of people right now, because normally a few hundred watch it while it's live. And a few hundred people are going to continue to subscribe to my channel. And then I also know that, okay, once it's posted, another few hundred people are going to watch it. And then that's an infinite number, because it's going to stay up on YouTube, and then people are going to be able to watch it for the next 15 years, right? There's going to be somebody in 2035 who's watching this video on an app that doesn't even exist right now. But that's another thing, is that you want to make sure that the things you're doing and you're voting towards are actually maximizing your time. So this YouTube video, although I'm not going to get these 12 minutes and 6 seconds back, I know for a fact that I'm putting it on my channel to help other people, and people are going to watch it forever. It's going to continue to exist on channels that on technology and phones that don't even exist yet. The iPhone 56 that we don't even know what it's going to be like. Someone's going to be watching this video on there in 2030. So that is how much I care about my 24 hours, is that I actually do things that move me towards the goal that I want. And the worst part is knowing exactly what you need to be doing and then not doing it. And the only reason you wouldn't be doing it is because you don't take those 24 hours serious. You don't take it serious. You should be so excited. I just want to say this, if you wake up in the morning and you're not excited to do the thing you're supposed to do, it's probably not the thing you're supposed to be doing. You're probably just doing it just to do it. When I wake up in the morning, I wake up with such excitement that I know that I'm moving towards my goal, because I have another chance to vote in the direction of the life that I want. And that is what I like. And that is what I love. So I pray that somebody watches this video, because people watch the video, but who's actually going to take notes and implement it and come back and watch it 2 or 3 more times and go through my videos and go through other people's videos, or go watch the people that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, right? Who's going to watch the end of, like, catching the end of it live and then wait for it to post on my channel in about 5 minutes to the live section and go back and rewatch the whole thing, the whole 12 minutes or 13 minutes? How many people are going to do that? Probably 0.01% of people. But those 0.01% of people actually care about their lives. They're voting in the direction every single day. And this also goes to your budget, right? If you have a budget and you know you have a budget, why would you be spending money that you know you shouldn't be spending, knowing that there's either you're moving towards your goal or away from it? Every time you spend money you're not supposed to spend, you're moving away from the goal that you have. Period. There's no gray area with money. It's black and white. Either you're putting your money to work for you, or you're making it put you back. And then you have to catch up and then still try to get to the place you were going to get anyways. You might as well stop putting yourself back. So if you're in a habit of doing that, that means you're in a habit of either spending more than you make or spending everything you make. You have to really look at those things. Really look at and look at your life and audit. Why am I spending everything I make? What habits do I have that continue to make me spend everything I make? That is probably going to be you not putting money to the side is the biggest thing there. You're not putting money to the side for yourself, because you should be paying yourself at least whatever you make between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. one day a week. For most people, that's probably like 40 or 50 bucks. Just for yourself, just to frivolously spend. Everybody should be doing that. Okay, you're probably not doing that, or you're probably not putting money aside to invest. You're not putting money aside to save. You don't have an emergency fund, right? Or you might be the person that is spending more than you make. That's when you're relying on debt. That's when you're relying on credit cards. That's when you're still using your credit cards. That's when you're not putting your money to work for you. You know you have a budget and you're not sticking to it because you just don't care about this constant movement towards this. That's it. It's black and white. So your vote is your vote, and whether you vote for something good or bad, you're always voting. That's what I want you to know. You're always voting. So what future are you voting for? You're always voting. You never stop voting. Everybody's always constantly voting every 24 hours. The only time you don't vote is when you're asleep. So what, 8 hours a day? Cool. Or for most people, like 5 to 6 hours a day, you're not voting. Every other waking hour, you're voting. What are you voting for? Are you voting for your future self, or are you voting for your past self? Are you voting to keep your past self, or are you voting to move forward knowing that life is never going to stop moving? Nobody's life is not going to wait for you. So you have to care about every single decision you make, and every single decision you make is a vote. And even not making a decision is a vote. Remember that. So even if you think you're not voting and I'm just holding off, life's still doing this. You're still voting. You're still voting for the life you don't want. While you think you're just waiting around, 24 hours have passed. 48 hours have passed. 72 hours have passed. Make decisions quicker, depending on the fact that this never moves. You're always moving towards the end. And you have to make sure that you're voting. Even when you think you're not voting, that's the most dangerous part you can be in, is when you think you're not voting and you think that time is stopped and you think you have time to think on it. You don't. Just make your decision and move forward. Make your decisions and move forward. You have to vote in the direction that you want, because if you're not voting in the direction you want, a vote is still being made. You're still making a vote. Votes never stop.